Hi Taurus, so welcome to your reading for February 2018. Okay, right. It's for Taurus Sun, Moon and Rising, your tarot forecast. Oh, okay. I had a few jump out there. Okay, what we got there? Okay, so I'm just going to put those to the side for the moment. It's interesting. So we know that you've had a very work-focused month and that you are having quite a work-focused time. Right. Okay. Let's see. What are the cards saying? Okay, so this is coming out in the position of you, Taurus. Okay, so this is what you're coming in with. Okay. All right, and this is the environment around you. Interesting. Okay, and the people that you're dealing with. This is advice. Okay, so this is advice, warnings potentially. And this is the best possible outcome, the possible outcome. I'm going to draw another clarifier. Okay, let's expand on this. Okie dokie. Right, Taurus. What is going on? Okay, so bear in mind that I'm reading them from my vision. So what's upright for you is actually backwards for me, is reversed for me, okay? So you're coming in and you've got King of Swords energy, okay? So obviously now you're Taurus, okay? And I'm going to read this as you regardless, but I will, I think I can see two layers of meaning here. So on one hand, I feel like you're coming into February and you're feeling like you've got your wits about you. You're communicating clearly, you're seeing things clearly, you're paying attention to the details, you're thinking, you know, you're using your intelligence, you're using your knowledge, you're using your wit to assess situations. And to me, it looks very much like it's to do with work and your finances, mainly, you know. I can see a love reading actually here as well, so I am going to go into love later on in a minute, but first of all, I'm going to read this in terms of what I see work-wise. So I feel like you're coming in with a clear mind, clear on what you want, communicating well. Now, this could also be somebody, an air sign male, so an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini, or somebody who's very much like that in your life. So this is somebody who is very cerebral, very intelligent, very opinionated, likes to talk a lot, probably specialized in one particular subject, likes to think of themselves as very knowledgeable, quite kind of to the point with their words, that kind of thing. Okay, so this could also be somebody in your life as well who's having an influence on you and actually causing you to have to be clear, because I see in the environment around you that we've got the moon in reverse, which is a good thing. This means that the blinders have come up, because when this is upright, this means that we're under some sort of illusion. We're under some sort of spell. We're not seeing things clearly. So this is reversed for you, which tells me that on some level the blinders have come off and you're seeing things clearly, which echoes this sentiment. So you're coming in with clear vision about something. About what? Well, I think it's to do with work. Okay? I feel like it's to do with career. Now, I feel like, and even if it's not to do with career, it could be to do with partnership, you know, it could be to do with friendship, romance, one-on-one partnerships. You're coming in and you're saying, okay, I see things clearly, the blinders have been taken off. I've had a bit of experience in whatever situation this is, whether it is work, romance, a one-to-one partnership, and the blinders have come off, and I'm seeing somebody, or I'm seeing the people around me not putting in the effort, not putting in the work, because this, you know, the Three of Pentacles, the right way up, this is people working together. This is, I'm mastering my craft and I have the support of others. Here, there's a lack of teamwork, there's a lack of cooperation. I feel like there's somebody who is all talk. You could be dealing with somebody who's all talk, or somebody who, you know, they want to be acknowledged as being skilled or in control of their finances, or in control of things, but actually they're not a team player, and you have been being a team player, and this person isn't. And it could well be that this person is that Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini person, or person who shows up like this, someone who's very claims to be very knowledgeable, likes to talk a lot, like very opinionated, very, you know, very cerebral. And there's a lack, I feel like this person, perhaps at first, when you first started dealing with them, you thought, oh, this is somebody who I can, whether it was you were going to start a business with them or a relationship or go to work for them. At first you thought, okay, this is someone who knows what they're doing. I can trust him. He speaks really well, you know, but then you got yourself into a situation with them, and I feel like the blinders have come off, and now you're seeing, actually, this person isn't that much of a team player. They don't have the resources. They don't back up their words necessarily. Now, he has come in upright, you know, and that makes me think that on one hand, you know, it's not that they're trying to be manipulative or anything, but maybe it's just they just don't have, whether it's a job, maybe you're working for someone and the company's about to go bust and they had these good ideas, but actually they don't have the ability to follow them through. Do you know what I mean? There's a lack of follow through going on here. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. And this is saying to me, the Fool here in reverse is saying that I feel like you need to be very careful of being led into something on a financial or business, you know, or work level that is just basically it's too good to be true, or there hasn't been proper planning put in, or the contract hasn't been looked over properly. I feel like you're sharp this month, you know, you're seeing things clearly this month, you're being sharp, you're kind of coming in with a bit of this energy. And there are people around you, situations around you that aren't so clear. People who aren't team players and maybe who have big visions that are not grounded at all, and they're not going to put the work in, they're not going to meet you halfway. Now this could be anything from a co-worker to someone you want to build a business with, even someone you want to build a relationship with, or someone you're living with. On some level, I'm gonna say to you now, watch out. Even though Mercury's not retrograde, I'm gonna say to you, watch out for contracts this month. Be very clear on your words and make sure that you're getting people to repeat themselves so you understand where they're coming from and what it is they want from you and what it is they're trying to get you into. Because otherwise I see you getting very frustrated, because there's an element here as well of like, you're pulling your weight and you're putting in the work, but other people aren't. And maybe other people are kind of almost like not trying to lead you astray, but if you follow them, they will lead you off the deep end and astray, and it will end up like this. It will end up with you feeling left out in the cold. Financially, emotionally, it can land you in a really tough position. So you need to follow your instincts this month, Taurus, when it comes to business, and when it comes to your dealings with other people, especially anyone who affects you on a financial level. Be very careful about what it is they might be pulling you into, because I don't feel like they've got themselves in the same position as you have. I feel like you've got a lot to offer. I feel like there's someone here who's unskilled or unable to match you, or maybe a business that's unable to kind of recognize you in the way that you want to be recognized. And you know, now you're starting to think, okay, I need to think about my other options. I need to see things clearly. Don't rush off and take any big offers that sound too good to be true. You need to take your time, and you need to, now I see why these came up, you need to listen to your intuition, because I feel like some of you haven't been listening to your intuition, and you need to be, I think you need to, don't be afraid to go off alone. Don't be afraid to take time to yourself to mull over whatever this is. Now, I mean, the thing is, this King of Swords has come up upright, you know, and I know it sounds like I'm reading him reverse, but when I look at everything here, if I look at the double meaning, on one hand I feel like you're coming in having to be clear and having to be very sure about where you stand and having to be very precise and notice details and really observant, because you're dealing with somebody who maybe talks a really great game, who presents themselves like this, but really when we get down to it, I don't feel like they are. Well, not when I look at this. And I feel there's some sort of clarity that's come about as a result. And if you can avoid this situation here, then you can take care of your money. you can take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You can be that old man who's like, okay, well, I wasn't made a fool out of. How do we get here? We get here by being wise, by making wise investments. There's somebody here who is not a wise investment, who's not going to be a team player, who's not going to put the work in. And now this can relate to love as well. And I feel like this might be, for some of you who are looking for love, this might be somebody who comes in and makes a lot of big promises and who seems at first great. This is someone who can talk a good game, and, you know, they seem to be on the same wavelength as you. They're sharp, they're intelligent, they're witty. They, you know, they've got it going on. But then I feel like you kind of slowly start to see that actually this person is it reminds me of it's kind of promising a lot and then actually giving very little energy wise. It's like, actually, you're going to be disappointed because you're going to be sent out on a fool's errand that's going to go nowhere based on nothing, and they're not going to be a team player. And you're going to feel emotionally bankrupt as a result of if you invest your time in this person. And I know it's weird because they're not coming up in reverse, but this is how it's coming to me. So I'm just going to read it how it comes to me. And this is, yeah, I'm definitely feeling this. This is a case of, and do you know what, funnily enough, I had this for Aries, where it's very much like, for Aries, it was they had to think about their own happiness. For you, I feel like you have to use your wits, Taurus. You have to use your wits this month, because I feel like there could be offers that are made to you. They could be to do with jobs, they could be to do with businesses, they could be to do with investment opportunities, anything to do with your money. Be very careful about the contracts. Be very careful about the contracts, Taurus. You know you're good with your money generally, you know, just as a general rule of thumb. Obviously, I don't know your birth charts individually, but generally you're good with your money. You care about being stable and secure. And I don't think there's stability or security here. Now, if you're thinking about leaving a job soon, I would say hold your breath. Don't do it just yet. Opportunities will come up. There will be opportunities. I think there'll be opportunities that will gently guide you into other areas if you want to pursue them. And I did actually mention this in the astrology reading. I think there'll be opportunities to maybe train or learn about other things, other skills or, you know, careers. Take your time, look into them, be wise about it. Don't go after anything that's just, you've never done it before and they're offering you a load of money. Don't go there. Just don't go there. Don't go there, because I just feel like there's people around who could promise a lot. I'm getting a lot of promissory energy and not much backup. But I think when it comes to you, if you listen to your intuition and if you take that time, and look, we've got the Devil that came out. Now, these are the two that fell out before I actually pulled these cards. And I like to keep them to the side because they tend to clarify for me. Now, this makes so much sense now. You know, the Devil, it's like temptation. Something's too good to be true. The Fool in reverse, you know, temptation is too good to be true. Oh, but he's so charming and witty and intelligent and agreeable. Okay, great. Okay, well then go down that road if you want to. You know, or it sounds so good or whatever. Use your intuition. Take time away from the situation, whatever that situation is, because I feel like you're not taking time away from the situation. I feel like, Taurus, maybe you're spending, I don't feel like you're spending enough time on your own to think about the direction your life is going in, to think about where you want to be. I feel like perhaps there's been a lot going on work-wise and friendship-wise and romance-wise and all of this, which is great, but when we're not grounding and when we're not thinking about our desires and we're not clearing our heads in our own space, it can be hard for us to make the right decisions for ourselves. It can be easy for us to get carried in with somebody else's grand plan that won't necessarily work in our favor. So I'm asking you, or the universe is asking you, to take some time to mull over, think, go within, digest. What do you see here? Because if you're not careful, I feel like you could get tripped up. But you don't need to be, because you're starting to see things clearly. But there's some temptation here. And you know, funnily enough, before I even thought about the Devil, I was looking at these cards and I was thinking, this person is really tempting to follow. Whether it's love, whether it's career-wise, whatever, there's a temptation here. It's like, but you know, they're a really good talker, and I feel like, you know, they can talk you into it, but the backup just is not there. The backup is just not there. You need to make this about you. This needs to be about you. This is very Taurian energy in this card. So that's what I'm getting, Taurus. And I think as far as love is concerned, it's the same thing again. I think this is somebody who might appear really attractive, but you just want to take your time. You just want to take your time. You know, don't forget, we've had a few eclipses and things, and just let those energies play out. There could be some temptation there, but you want to take your time until you see things very clearly and take care of you, take care of your needs, your resources. Don't invest in anything that seems too good to be true, because I feel like you could get led astray. But I don't know, I feel like you won't, but I feel like there's a chance that some of you could. Some of you could, but you need to just take that time out to yourself. Look at these. These are very much about seeing things clearly and taking time and going past illusions, and like, you know, it's kind of hermit mode type thing. And that's what you want to do. You want to take that time for yourself a little bit, Taurus, and not get too caught up in whatever this is, because I feel like this is either a contract that is going to fall apart. This is either a business or a work opportunity that is not what it seems, or this is either something you're already in, where you're starting to realize that people aren't pulling their weight, and you're having to take the fall financially, whatever it is, emotionally. People aren't pulling their weight on some level, and what it is about putting your needs first and getting clear on where you want to be. And if this isn't going to serve you, then you need to walk away from it, or find a way to put some distance between yourself and this. And that's what I'm seeing for you, Taurus, in February. So to me, really, it's quite clear. Yeah, gosh, that is interesting. I would love to know how this plays out for you, Taurus. I really would. So please, you know, because this is my first month doing the tarot readings for you guys, please tell me anything, you know, you want to tell me about the reading, about what you resonated with, what you didn't. I would love that. You know, anything. I love hearing from you guys, absolutely. Okay, well, I hope you have a great month, and please enlighten me as to what that situation is for you guys. I would love to know. Okay, take care.